Happy Sunday, everybody. It's me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. Welcome to the Fantasy Pros live stream. With me, of course, is D-Bro, Derek Brown, the king of bros. And, it's funny, D, as you continue to grow that beard out, you're starting to look a little bit more like our Jack Link sponsor. Just a little bit.
I'm trying. It's the look of gold here, Joey. It's the look of winners.
In case you're watching at home here, I'm going to have to adjust my camera a little bit because I want to make sure I don't get too close to that Wookiee over there as well. Let me tell you, that guy's scary. That looks like some people's fantasy lineups for week 6 with all these injuries we're talking about here. So we are going to help you as best we can get through all of that news and information here. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Drop them in the chat. A bunch of injuries to talk about too. Jalen Carter looks like he might not play today now. That's a big loss for that Eagles front. Darius Slay might not play. Also in that same game, Sauce Gardner is not going to play. He's got a concussion still, has not cleared that protocol. Deshaun Watson's not going to play, so we get PJ Walker. We're also going to get Tyrod Taylor, not Daniel Jones. Gardner Minshew, the quarterback of the Colts for the foreseeable, if not rest of the future of the 2023 season, starting to look more and more like that, which is sad news for all of those people who have Anthony Richardson and sad news for all of the people who love the NFL because he's fun to watch. So that's a bit of a bummer, but all is not lost because out of that chaos comes opportunity. Chaos is a ladder, Derek Brown. So it means Josh Downs might be useful. It means some of these other pieces on some of these other teams might be better than we think. So we're going to talk about all of them. D-Bro, what's the biggest injury this weekend for you in your mind that you think could really be one that crushes people's fantasies, hopes, and dreams in week 6?
Ooh, I think probably the injury to Justin Jefferson. I think we could surprisingly see a Vikings offense that comes out and looks, I'm not going to say terrible, but looks like it's got a few kinks to work out because Justin Jefferson has been Kirk Cousins' go-to. Like, it's basically, he drops back and every single week says, well, Jefferson's down there somewhere. Let's have a good time. And that's not going to be the case today. He can't do that. It's going to be, okay, we need to get more targets for TJ Hawkinson. Jordan Addison's going to lead the way. You know my thoughts on KJ Osborne. And what are we going to get out of the ground game against a surprisingly really good Chicago Bears run defense? I already bet the Chicago Bears money line, Joey. I think problems could be
so did I.
Vikings.
I bet that earlier this week. We talked about that on the Monday BP Look Ahead show. Thank goodness I locked in the 49ers at -5 too. Ooh-wee. As that line has moved. That line has doubled, and rightfully so. Some crazy stuff going on in week 6. That's okay. We're here, your best friends, to take you through everything you need. Again, if you got questions, we've got answers. Drop them below in the chat. Also, want to thank the sponsor of today's show, and you know who that is. It's that crazy-looking Jack Links guy right there. Jack Links protein snacks. They are delicious. There's no better way to enjoy game day than with Jack Links protein snacks, from jerky and beef sticks to steaks and even more. Jack Links delivers 100% beef in a wild assortment of delicious flavors. I like the teriyaki. Pat likes the pepper. I did try the pepper one. It is pretty good, I gotta say. I still like the teriyaki the most. The regular also just delicious. So it's just not, it's game time. You want something to snack on. Feed your wild side instead of going for those chips and those other things out there. Go get the protein snacks. I can't talk this morning. So shop now at jacklinks.com. or at your local retailer. I've got my my meat stick right here, my protein stick for you right here. Delicious. I shouldn't eat it during the show because last week I was eating it during the show and it was causing problems during the show because it's so delicious and I'm always hungry because I'm up early.
Why, were you afraid your dentures were going to fall out?
No, I couldn't talk and I got to talk so much. That's the problem. But this bad boy, as soon as the show's over, delicious. All right, so let's get to some questions here. I love the Jack Links. I'm protein. I'm trying to get swole. Just eating all the protein. CSP wants to know full super flex. PPR. Here we go. The Gardner Minshew questions begin. Josh Dobbs, Gardner Minshew. Which one do you want to start today?
Oh, it's Minshew. Really? He is a borderline QB1 for me this week.
Oh, wow. Why is a borderline QB1? Just because the Jacksonville Jaguars have been so disappointing?
They have been a low-key major pass funnel, Joe. The top 10 in fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks, passing yards. I mean, pick your poison, man. All of it screams towards Gardner Minshew hitting the overs for his passing yards today and coming through with a good day.
All right. When we're talking about the quarterbacks too, I know you're talking about Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow and stuff. Are you somebody this week that wants to pay up for the Jalen Hurts and Fields of the world in DFS, or you somebody wants to pay down and go like the Stafford and Burrow, or even Minshew, dare I say, from what you just said?
Minshew and Stafford would be my 2 highest rostered quarterbacks today.
Very interesting.
With
Okay.
Fields and Hurts duking it out for the 3rd spot.
Well, certainly the Hurts looks like he's in a good spot now. That's for sure. All right, let's continue on here. Let's go to Steve Chichetto. Wants to know James Cook down to Foreman. Kyron Williams can only start 2. Who's the odd man out? I know who it is for me, but I want to hear it from you.
It's going to be Dante. And I love Dante Foreman.
Kyron Williams hasn't broken 60 yards all year. Why are we so in love with Kyron Williams? Especially with
because he scores touchdowns. The Rams are going to get in the red zone constantly this week. I think he gets at least 1 touchdown. Now, if you need the ceiling, I will say this. If you need the ceiling, I think that Deontay Foreman carries the higher ceiling. So depending your matchup, it's not insanity to start Foreman over Kyron, but James Cook is a definite locked in.
Okay, fair enough. Good solid advice there from Derek Brown. Let's go to Joey DCS, full PPR. Should I start Sasquatch or Bigfoot? This is something you got to really think about here. Again, then Yeti's out for 4 to 6 weeks. So Sasquatch.
I was like, what's wrong with Yeti? We can't get Yeti. Is Yeti on IR?
Yeti's on the IR. Ingrown hair. It's terrible. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Sasquatch. I like the matchup better. Sasquatch always plays well in the cold. I'm going Sasquatch.
Oh, man,
I love these questions. Keep giving us more.
Hold up. You know what they say about big feet, Joey? I'm going with Bigfoot here.
All right, big cleats. Is that what happens?
Yeah, of course. Right. Where were you going with that?
I don't know. Tumek, hello from Germany. Who would you start, Jonathan Taylor or Rashad White? This is from Tumek.
Taylor.
I agree. Rashad White. God. Is there like a least appealing guy? Like all offseason, I don't know Rashad White.
His face is on the poster.
Just unappealing. No offense to Rashad White. I'm sure he's a lovely human being, but like from a fantasy perspective, just unappealing. There's nothing I like there. Brian Laforte, Addison or Christian Kirk in the PPR. That's an interesting one.
Ooh. I'm gonna go Addison. I think this is a Calvin Ridley game.
Okay. Let's go to Will Bowman. Morning Pro Stars in half PPR. I need 1 running back, 1 flex. Stevenson, Foreman, Moss, DeMarcado, Addison, Devonta Smith. Now, I know you're going to want to play Smith of most of these guys, right? So he's in the flex. So now it comes down to a running back, which means Stevenson, Foreman, Moss, or DeMarcado.
Foreman. I'm going Foreman.
So Foreman over all those guys, but not Foreman, just to be clear, over Kyron Williams. That's interesting. Okay.
I said for ceiling. If you want it, go out. Oh my God. You can't give me my flowers on a great answer and then take them away, Joey.
By the way,
they're already put in the vase, okay?
Speaking of flowers, I just wanted to
here we go.
Derek Brown bought me
this
people for my birthday. I haven't hung it up yet. Look at this thing. It's amazing. The Zay Flowers autographed jersey for me. That's a friend. That's a friend.
I thought that was the best set of flowers
that
I could give you, Joey.
I had to take my earpiece out, so I know Derek's talking. I can't
talking about
because I had to move.
Talking about giving you your flowers. I know that was the best representation of that.
It was the best. I'm gonna hang it up right behind my bald head, right over there. Move some stuff around. Just haven't gotten to do it yet.
You're not gonna be able to see it off the shine then. How's that gonna work?
Well, I can never stop me from shining, no matter how people tried all these years. I'm like Mariah Carey, like that. All right, Tatum VFX, please help me. Who should I start, DJ Moore or Josh Jacobs in the full PPR?
Oh, DJ Moore. This is not even close.
Jacobs is not a bad start this week against the Patriots, though. Like I don't like. I'm not negative on it.
Start.
Patriots are trash. I know I'm not supposed to say that. I'm a Patriots fan, so I can say it.
I think you're. Well, I think that.
I know I'm going to get in trouble. Everyone's going to yell at me now. I'm a Patriots fan. I have no reason to complain. My life has been charmed.
But yet
the last 20 years.
Look at you. Yet
I'm being realistic. The Patriots are hurt. They are injured. They don't have the pieces. They can't compete right now.
Well, they're not good. I mean, we can definitely get that out of the way.
Jacobs is somebody you could play. I can hear the HR calling me. You can't say that word, and I said that word, but I'm tired. Cody Davis.
Well, they have you on speed dial, don't they?
They should. Cody Davis, pick 2. PPR, full PPR. Kyron Williams, James Cook, Brandon Ayuk, and Jordan Addison. Ayuk's got to be in there. Yes.
Ayuk and James Cook.
I like that. I'm good. Sebastian wants to know, Howell or Geno? I like Geno against Cincy. I like Geno.
I'm gonna go Howell for the volume.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Dylan, full PPR. Start 2 running backs out of Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor, DeMarcado, and Chuba Hubbard.
DeMarcado and Hubbard.
Sean Dixon, start Hubbard or Foreman. This is that big conversation we were just having on Sports Grid. And we both said Foreman, so we're going to say Foreman again. But tell Sean why, because he probably wasn't watching that other show.
Yeah, so I've got Foreman. I'm actually bumping him up the ranks just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge.
Smidge is a great word. Is that even a real word?
It
or is it
is
just a word
it's
we
nice.
accept? I don't even know. I'm going to Google it while you
It's
talk
underrated and underutilized. I'll say that. So just a smidge. Deontay Foreman, I've got him at RB16. Chuba is at RB17. I will lean with Foreman on this one because there's a few different parts of pieces. The Vikings are a middle of the road run defense, but Foreman quietly is running behind. And I'm not going to tell anybody that the Chicago Bears have had a great offensive line, but they are top 3 in yards before contact per attempt. This is a good matchup. They're in positive game scripts because I think Justin Fields is going to eviscerate them today. Then Foreman's going to get 20 plus carries and fall in the end zone once.
Yes, I know John Smidge is a real word. He's messaging me behind the scenes here, our producer, John.
John, you should have put that in all caps. Bold that.
I know it's a real word. I want to know more about it, though. It's an informal, very small amount or part is the definition. It's derived from the word smidgen, which, again, if we're going to be more professional, we should be using words like smidgen and not smidge. So there you go. None of this
my gears are turning. I'm trying to think how I possibly can turn this into a Joey P nickname.
There you go. Do you see that was them trying to take me off air? Do you see that happens every time I go too far? That's what happens. The lies of the machines. The machines always know what's happening.
Get on the chopper!
Whenever I'm talking on the FantasyPros in the live stream, the machines start to take over. Z Bricks, you are the best. Thanks, Z Bricks. Have PPR, Ford or Chuba Hubbard, Nico or Hollywood. I have very low expectations for Jerome Ford. I've already gone on my rant about this. I would play Chuba over Jerome Ford this week. Nico or Hollywood, that's a tough one. Nico's like good week, bad week, I feel like every week. And now, theoretically, this should be quote-unquote the good week. So what do you think?
I'm going to go Hubbard, and I'm going Nico. And I think it's not close for either one of those. Hollywood's going to have to deal with the Rams secondary, who have been extremely tough against wide receivers. Yep.
They have been very good. Tanker. I want to give a shout out, some love. See, now it's negative. Now I'm going to be positive. A shout out to the Rams because everybody wrote the Rams off, and the Rams have been a very competitive team on a very tough schedule. That schedule is going to get a little bit lighter here for the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on them.
Go bet their odds to make the playoffs.
I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. I want to see what that is. I got to go look. I'm going to go to Betting Pros right now and look at it while Derek answers this question. Tanker, start 2, PPR, White, JT, Ramondre, or Chuba?
We're going Mondre and Chuba. We're leaning for the volume for both of those guys. The volume's going to be there for Rashad White, but the Detroit Lions, we keep talking about this, Joey, an elite run defense. I want no part of that. Rashad White, the only game he's had is when he faced lesser competition, and it still wasn't that pretty. So Rashad White's a sit. JT, I'm not projecting anything more than 30, maybe 40% of the snaps. Like, we have to also understand he only played 15% of the snaps last week. Now, he did get, I think I want to say it was 7 opportunities on 10 snaps. So even if you get him into the 20s, he's probably looking at 10 to maybe 15 touches, but not a good matchup. So it's Mondre and Chuba.
Pop quiz hot shot. What do you think the numbers for the Rams to make the playoffs are? What do you think for the yes side? What would you set that at?
Plus, I feel like it's going to be lower than what I'm thinking. I would say plus 450, but I bet you it's like plus 350.
It's lower than that. It's plus 260.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Vegas is ahead of us on that.
Well, I think Vegas is ahead of it because if you think about it, the teams from last year, the Vikings are not going to be a playoff team probably.
Yeah.
The Giants are probably not a playoff team. The Dallas Cowboys are starting to look very tenuous right now. So when you think about it, maybe that Rams path, because I don't see 2 teams coming out of the North, right?
Look at this schedule coming up. They get the Cardinals today, then they get the Steelers. You'd said the Cowboys, the Packers, which are beatable, Seahawks, Cardinals again, the Browns who are floundering, Ravens, Commanders, Saints, like the Giants. Like, these are some good.
Be on the Rams.
This is a quiet, like, what? Where would you put them at, Joey? Like, their win total, like 9, 8.5 probably is the line. I would take the over for 9 at least.
I would take the over on those, but I'm saying right now you're looking at that plus 260 is a pretty good number too.
Yeah,
Just
I'd
saying.
still bet it.
All right,
I was
Jay
hoping higher,
Bauer
but I'll
wants
bet
to
it.
know Ayuk or Olave today. I think
Ayuk,
it's
baby.
Ayuk.
Ayukin.
G full PPR QB flex super flex pick 3. Goff, Purdy. Well, look, it's super flex. We got to play the quarterback. So who do you want, Goff or Purdy?
Yeah, we're playing. I'm playing Purdy. I'm playing one of those guys.
You know, I'm so mad because Purdy was my pivot in all of the Superflex leagues to that second QB, and I couldn't get him anywhere. I just hate everything because I just hate it.
You didn't pivot hard enough, Joey.
Well, no, it's like I pivoted hard enough, but like my 2 pivots were Brock Purdy and CJ Stroud. So
you got a lot of Stroud. I know that because in drafts with you, I was looking at CJ Stroud. You were like,
no. Like I'm a believer. I put my money where my mouth is. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of mouth. So Christian Kirk, Addison, Hollywood Brown. Who's the next guy then in the flex? Wait. So let me get this straight.
Between
There's
Kirk
a QB and a
Addison.
flex and a super flex. So Goff and Purdy should both be in.
Yeah, but
then
Goff
it's Hollywood
and Purdy
Brown,
should be
Addison, or Kirk. It's probably Addison, right? You want to play the upside?
Yeah,
there?
I'm going with Addison. Addison.
By the way, every time the Jack Links guy comes on, I get scared. I just want to say, like, I get a little like it's just he's reminding me. He's like protein snacks. He's like, don't forget about the protein snacks. And the Jack.
I feel like that's a slight shade to me as well with your earlier comments. Just gonna throw that out there, Joe.
Well, you're there all the time. He just pops up there, and it frightens me. It's October. It's a scary season. I don't like scary things. I'm a big wussy about that stuff. I don't even like the scary movie commercials. I do this.
Really? Is that a thing? You don't?
No, I don't like him. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't need it. It's not my
Miss Joey on the Friday the 13th movie marathons.
No. Yep, none of that stuff. Don't care.
He doesn't even look those like this last Friday. Doesn't even turn on the TV. Can't handle him. Doesn't watch them.
Nope, not at all. But if you're watching us, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a comment below because you could win this Trophy Smack 36-inch trophy. It is glorious. Look at that for your fantasy football league, or maybe just for you. You can just keep that bad boy. It is fantastic. Thanks to our friends over at Trophy Smack. So if you haven't already, check out Trophy Smack. They've got the best assortment of rings, of fantasy trophies, of fantasy belts. They've got loser awards too, which are hilarious. So all you have to do to win this, again, subscribe to our channel, like the stream, drop a comment below, and click that little bell till it goes ding for notifications so you know if you're the big winner and every time a piece of content drops here on the channel. So there you have it. Let's get back to your questions, though. Brian Wesselbacher. Oh, God, that's a great name. Wesselbacher. Mm-hmm. Rowan Gardner.
Runamacher.
I like Rookie of the Year I like that movie when I was a kid.
So underrated. It's still like it's aged.
Does it hold up?
It is aged. I think it's aged pretty well. Can we throw that out there?
Has it? Gary Busey's in that. I don't know if anything with Gary Busey could possibly.
Well, I mean, the Busey hasn't aged well, but the movie still looks good. So,
Gary Busey, that guy. So Wesselbacher wants to know start 2, Madison, Pollard, JT, and he says health in
health.
I think he means help, but maybe he's just wishing us good health, which is also good.
It's so bad.
Wesselbacher. Look, I think you got to
John, Pollard. Mute this man.
You got to
this man. Pollard. That was even a bad dad joke.
You can't not start Pollard. So it comes down to JT and Madison. Pollard. I want Pollard and JT. I'm just going to put the best guys out there.
I want to play Pollard and JT.
All right, Patrick Harrison. Good morning, everybody. All my 0 RB strategies are out. Now I got to pick between Kendre Murray and Latavius Murray. Kendre Miller or Latavius Murray, which one you want? Half PPR.
Let's go Lat Murray. I think with the matchup, we could see him get garbage time, 10 to 12 carries, and get a touchdown.
We should all have careers that last as long as Latavius Murray. I've been doing this for 15 years now, and I feel like Latavius Murray has been here for all 15. Is that wrong?
No, I mean, now you got to make me look it up. Like, how long is his career?
I don't know.
Be Frank Gore, but I mean,
I feel like 5 years from now, we're going to be like, do you want to start, XYZ or Latavius Murray? Like Latavius Murray is still going to be. And there could be a guy named XYZ the way things are going. There's some great names out there in college football right now.
10 years that I think 10 years as a pro, man. He's been kicking around.
That's what I mean. 10 years. It's pretty close. Key and Peele couldn't have even imagined some of the names that are out there right now. It's amazing. I love it. Davis Shipman, Foreman or Ford? I go Foreman.
Easy Foreman.
Darius Richards, Godwin, or Brian Robinson Jr. in the flex?
Godwin.
Maggie, awesome birthday gift. I want friends like that. What's is that the trophy?
You forgot already. Now you forgot already. I give you your flowers, and I just,
Maggie, you're right.
You try to do something nice for somebody, Maggie, and they forget already.
You have to understand, Maggie. It's Sunday morning. I've already been doing 2.5 hours of talking. By the time my brain gets here, it's not great. It's not great.
I don't see that much of a drop off, to be real, Joe. Like
again, just hurtful things. Yes, Maggie, it is a great birthday gift, and I love D-Bro very much. I bought him a big hat last year, which is a pretty amazing gift. I just want to say.
Speaking of gifts.
Like, that is a tremendous... Look at the big hat. Look at that thing. That is amazing.
Should I look like Dark Helmet and just answer all the rest of the questions like Dark Helmet?
No, everybody wants to see your pretty face, but that is...
No, they don't want to see that, Joey. They don't want to see that.
Do your kids go in the Dark Helmet? Do your kids just go in the office and like put that hat on all the time?
My 5-year-old runs around like this, and she looks like a...
You got to take a picture and send that to me, which is wearing.
It is hilarious because it weighs her down. So as she's running, like if she goes around a corner, you can see her head go nee as she leans into the corner.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Top heavy. Lawrence Munchak, full PPR, flex, Devonta Smith with the 2 Jets corners out, or Jalen Waddle. Oh no, these are Derek Brown's favorite things. You got to start both these guys, Lawrence, somehow.
Play both. The answer is really play both.
This is why 2 wide receiver leagues stink. I don't like them because it's like, why don't I want to play all these guys? Instead of playing 2 wide receiver leagues, can we play 1 running back leagues?
Oh, yes.
And then an extra flex?
An extra flex.
Can we start doing that, please, everyone? Please and thank you. What are we doing here?
That way we can, all of the 0 RB zealots, we can just hold our spreadsheets and be like, oh, Murray DiMercado, week 6, yes! And not have to worry about running backs.
Zealot is an underutilized word, too, I just want to say. Let's go to Angie Perez. Full PPR, Angie needs RB flex, DeMarcado, Moss, or Chuba Hubbard, or Gabe Davis. A lot of choices here.
I'm going to go Hubbard. We're going to lean for the volume. God,
Zach Moss has been... Like, I keep waiting for that shoe to drop. When does it drop?
If you need the ceiling, go Gabe. It drops this week. That shoe got stinky fast.
All right. And then who's the flex play? So it's Hubbard and Gabe. That's what you're doing? Okay.
Hubbard. Yeah. Well... screw it, man. I'm not getting off of this. Let's go Hubbard and DeMarcado. I want to live dangerously.
All right, Angie, if you want to live dangerously, listen to Derek Brown. Satoshi Solby. I have Laporta, concerned about his status in late start. Understandably so. I have Foreman and Josh Downs. Would I start one of them to be safe?
I'm guessing that's as a flex play.
It seems like it. Look, LaFlorida's
LaFlorida.
All of a sudden, I became is like a dodgeball.
Peter LaFlorida.
You could cram it up your cram hole, Derek Brown. No, I have Foreman and I assume Laporta's been flex worthy. Like if you've got Chelsea or somebody, like I got no problem starting.
I'm playing
in the flex lately.
I'm playing Foreman over him in the flex. Like that's not even close. If it's a tight end,
I know you like Downs this week too. That's a tough one.
I love Downs too, but I think we're gonna lean with the volume. Like Foreman's getting 15 to 20 touches in this game.
Okay. Mike Hernandez, is Kyren Williams and Gabe Davis for Keenan Allen too much? I get Keenan Allen. No.
Fine. Get Keenan Allen. No. Press accept.
Mike, accept right now. Right now. Don't wait any longer. Juan Cifuentes. God, I wish my name was Juan Cifuentes. What can I get for
Prepare to die.
Juan Cifuentes wants to know what can I get for Jettas. He has to talk like that. Like that is such a cool name. You got to have like a cool voice to go with it. He's currently 3-2 with Metcalf, Amon-Ra, and Pittman as my wide receiver 2, 12-team league.
Help. You're probably not going to pull off like a straight up 1-for-1 trade for a wide receiver. So looking at the running back range, probably Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift.
I'll take those guys.
That might feel like a sell low, but that's probably all you're going to get. Maybe like the lowest I would get would be Kyren Williams.
I think you can get a Breece Hall plus.
I think you can.
Plus Thielen.
Maybe Tony Pollard. Somebody soured on Tony Pollard. Maybe a buy low.
I think you could definitely get a wide receiver 2 of note and a decent RB for Jefferson still.
You could.
I think it's so tempting to add that guy. But look, the reports are kind of scary right now. Well, at 4 weeks, we're going to wait and see. And we're going to do some imaging and maybe do some finger paints and maybe do like an arts and crafts project.
I have nothing to
and then
back
we'll
this
look at
up.
it.
I think he tore his hamstring, and that's why I think a lot of this. Because how fast did we get the news, Joey, of it's not he was ruled out the next week. It
He
was
was
automatically
on the IR.
IR, like
You're right, it was
automatically
fast.
4 weeks gone. So that's where I
Well,
think
but he
we're
also
going
is
here.
see the other piece of this is the contract that he hasn't signed yet. So he wants to get paid. So this is another one of
You
those
also
like,
saw
yes, he's
the
hurt.
airwaves that Cousins is probably going to come back next year, or at least that's in a possibility. You have to believe that's also part of the Justin Jefferson contract.
Well, look, if I'm Kirk Cousins, and I keep saying this, if I'm the Jets, I want Kirk Cousins tomorrow, because Kirk Cousins with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, that's a team you can compete with, and the AFC is another one where like the North keeps just kind of beating up on itself.
They're not going to do it. They won't do it because Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next year, and he wants to come back if they make the playoffs. They're not. They won't do it.
Did you see that they didn't take the insurance on him, and now it cost him $20 million? Did you see that report? I couldn't believe that. How do you not take insurance on an old quarterback like that? I don't know what you're doing. Good luck, Juan. Zach McCourt, choose 2 standard league: Waddle, Sun God, or DJ Moore.
We're going Waddle and DJ Moore.
Wow, the Sun God is out. Is that just health base? Is that what we're doing?
No, it comes down to Detroit has been a top 5 rushing rate team. I think what we've seen so far this year is that has capped the volume for Amon-Ra. I don't know that the Bucs are good enough to push back hard enough to put them into a script where they're going to pass a lot.
D Mel wants to say good morning and then wants to know bench 1 of the PPR: Ridley, Kyron, or Puka. It's Kyron for me, dog.
Kyron.
Jose O, pick 2: Pierce, Hubbard, or Zach Moss. Who's the odd man out? Pierce, Hubbard, or Zach Moss?
Moss.
So you're finally done, right?
Yeah.
This is it. All right.
Done.
I mean, it makes sense, but I'm scared. I'm afraid.
That's a consistent theme, man. We just need to
wrap
you in bubble wrap.
There's a lot of feelings.
I mean, seriously, get you like one of those little safe bells.
I'm mad that I just had a crap because of the Zay Flowers amazing thing you bought me. Had a ton of bubble wrap, and I just threw it out the other day. I should have kept it because October is a scary time, and I could have been wearing it for the live stream this whole time.
I thought you were just going to say you sit on the live stream and just kind of...
You know what I'm going to have to turn to instead? I'm going to have to turn to Jack Link's protein snacks to make me strong again. That's right. Jack Link's the sponsor of our show. If you haven't already, try the Jack Link's protein snacks. They are delicious, from jerky to beef sticks to steaks and even more. Jack Link's delivers 100% beef and a wild assortment of delicious flavors. So it's what you need to help feed your wild side. Shop now at jacklinks.com or at your local retailer. My grocery store has a ton. They have a whole end cap of Jack Links. They got the flaming Jack Links. Did you get that? Because I'm waiting for the meat box to show up to my house.
Dude, I'm still... Call me old school. All originals. I want the original.
Originals are delicious. Teriyaki is good. The pepper is good. Did you try the flame? Is the flaming in the box or no?
Oh, the flaming's in the box, and the flame.
I feel like you're a flaming guy.
I feel like I need to like chug a little bit of Pepto just to protect my insides before I get to the flaming. But we're gonna experience that today.
Next time you're on the stream, I want you hopped up on Mountain Dew and flaming Jack Link's protein snacks. That's what I want.
We need to reach out to them. Like, do they have a ghost pepper? Any kind of we could do like a hot jerky challenge on stream. I'd be so here for that.
I'll try the flaming, but I feel like it's going to make my bald head sweat. That's what happens. See, people don't know this. Like when you're a bald guy and you eat spicy food, you start to get Derek.
You get the head sweat.
You get the little.
You don't have to worry about meat sweats. You get the head sweat.
You get a smidgen of the dewy. That's what you get there.
Dewy?
Smidgen of the dewy. It sounds like a place in Lord of the Rings. And then they went to the smidgen of the dewy, and there they found the elf.
You shall not pass.
Seriously. MA football guy, Ridley or Ayuk? Tough choice there. Again, 2 wide receiver leagues.
Can we say both? I need both.
No, because it's probably one of those 2 wide receiver leagues, and it's like a 10-team league. And
we're going Ridley. I have Ridley at wide receiver 9. Ayuk is at 10.
Okay. Saquon, Prods, Komet, or Kittle? Are you worried about Kittle's few targets? I have zero worry about.
Did you
Kittle.
see last week?
Did you not see he had 3 targets and 3 touchdowns? Okay.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing.
Kittle,
I like Komet.
Kittle with a bullet.
But you always got to play.
Kittle.
you should always have a backup tight end when you have Kittle because Kittle is a guy that
No,
does
it's
get
fair.
hurt.
It's fair.
So Kmet is a good investment. I wouldn't be looking to trade him, but you're not looking to start him over. Like you can't do
So
that.
just to make to
I
make you
know.
feel better, okay?
I know.
To make Saquon feel better.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about something else.
Oh no.
Because something else just happened.
This is a feel good show, okay, Joey? If you saw what Kittle did last week, I think we can see an encore this week. I'm not saying 3 touchdowns, but I'm saying at least 1 this week because how Cleveland stacks up against this, or I mean, how San Francisco stacks up against this Cleveland passing attack or pass defense, if I can get words out right now. Second highest man coverage rate. Dallas leads the NFL in man coverage. So you're going to see a very similar attack plan. It's going to be a lot of CMC, a lot of Ayuk, and a lot of George Kittle. I have him as my tight end too this week.
Somebody just scored a touchdown in London.
I know! The Flowers, baby!
It's this guy. It's Zay Flowers. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes. He was due, baby. I mean, Flowers. That happened, right?
Write my name in the sand. All right, let's get to the next one. Koa 8. Hey, guys, full PPR. Josh Reynolds or Jonathan Mingo at the flex? Yowza.
Reynolds.
Jonathan Mingo. Is that still happening? What are we doing here? Got to be somebody else.
A Mingo ate your baby.
That's one of my team names in a league.
Is it?
With some of our Discord listeners. Domingo ate your baby. Hoser, Devo, Purdy or Goff. A lot of Purdy or Goff conversations.
We're going
Purdy over Goff.
Purdy.
Or pick up Minshew or Dobbs this week.
We're going Purdy.
Still Purdy.
I almost got seduced by the Minshew mania. We're going Purdy.
Wow.
Cooler heads have prevailed. They might be dewy, but they're cooler.
Tuan Fam, half PPR, pick 2. Foreman, Stevenson, Moss, or Pierce?
Foreman and Mondre.
Duffer Dave, Pollard or Foreman?
Come on. Come on. Duffer. No.
Bro.
No Duffer. Bad Duffer. No.
Bro.
Tony Pollard. Come on, man.
Bro.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Bro.
No.
Why? Look, I know Tony Pollard hasn't been great.
We're getting too cute with that.
But we can't start doing this to ourselves.
Nope.
Now, that being said, this is the rock bottom price for Tony Pollard. If you want to buy Tony, like
all that
Bro
said,
was saying,
yeah.
Jefferson get Tony Pollard plus, I think you could pull that off. Like I actually do because people.
This question illuminates that people are down on Tony Pollard to maybe not this extent across every league, but you need to kick the tires on Tony Pollard.
Duffer Dave might have gotten broed, but Duffer Dave also brought up a very interesting point here, which is the value of Tony Pollard is rock bottom. It's time to buy. Super Dave Arcelay, I don't care for Breida. Well, okay.
No, hey, join the crew.
I don't care for Matthew Breida. Do I bench JT or Ahmed and hope that Barkley plays in the 4-point PPR? I don't care for him.
Cheerio, yes.
Do I bench JT?
That's all I had.
Look, I'm playing JT. I don't want to play Breida. You got to hope that Barkley plays, but like the pivot isn't Breida. The pivot is like Latavius Murray off the waiver wire.
Yes.
To Breida. Like that's the pivot. Joe 96, start 3. CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ramondre Stevenson, or Zay Flowers.
You missed the Flowers.
Question. So Zay Flowers, like you're waking up, you got to know who's playing in London. So
this is why you use Autopilot, people.
That's
why
right.
you use my playbook. This is why you use these things. That way you don't have to get up early.
John, show the people my playbook. Show it to them.
Come on, show it to the good people.
John, where is it? There it is.
There we go.
Look at it. What are you doing? You
got it in its glory.
Look, if you're out at the bar Saturday night, you need Autopilot because you might have London games. You got Germany games. You got games in Derek Brown's backyard. They're playing everywhere this year. I mean, at some point, you got to understand my playbook will get you set up so you don't have to miss these problems. Joey, come on, Joe. Set it and forget it. Autopilot, especially you might have some of those 1 or 2 win teams. You're just over it. Focus on what's important. Use the waiver assistant. Use the trade finder. Use all the tools. And you can set all your lineups at all the different places just in my playbook. Download it. Sync your leagues. Look, I am begging you to do this because it's helpful, it's useful, so you don't end up here public service announcement again. Demetrius X. Good morning, guys. Should I start Cousins or Herbert? I think you guys
want Herbert.
Herbert's been great.
Yeah,
if only
close Herbert.
if only Staley would help him out a little bit. By the way, I saw one of the worst coaching things in college all year yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were going to go flag football. I thought we were going down that rabbit hole.
No, we got rained out yesterday. On the
Oh,
way there, they finally decided to call the game. It's been pouring
really?
for
They
like
waited that
4
late?
hours.
Like, come on, man.
The game's at like 1:30 practice time, and at 1 o'clock, they're like, yeah, you know what? It's raining. No kidding, it's raining hard. But anyway, I'm watching that Oregon-Washington game yesterday, and they got 2 minutes left. They're in Washington. Washington has no timeouts. They're up by 3 points, right? This is real. Like, actually, no, I think they were even up by more than 3. All you got to do is punt, but they want to go for it, and they're on like right around the 50. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you giving them a half field? This is college football. Punt the damn ball. Make them go 80 yards with no timeouts with 2 minutes left. Like, I guarantee you they're going to struggle to do that.
This is the reason that every old talking head comes at analytics. It's because of bad decisions like that on 4th down that we still have to listen to people talk about, well, the analytics.
It's not about analytics. It's not
like,
about confidence in your other. It's not about confidence in Bo Nix and the offense. No,
it's just
good
decisions and bad.
Good football is the last thing you want to do is not get that 4th down, get the crowd back in this game, and then give Washington half a field. And you know what? That's what they did. And you know what? Two plays later, they scored, and then they ran back and tried to get the ball back. They missed the field goal. Game over. No kidding. So it made me lucky. So mad, and I had no investment in that game, and it made me mad.
Got lucky.
So much anger. Jason Anderson, Pittman or Kirk? What do you want? I want Pittman.
Give me Pittman.
All the Minshew. Kirk Lavender. That's a great name. Kirk Lavender works at a spa. I think it smells excellent. Start to B-Rob, Rashad White, Zach Moss, half PPR.
Oh, that doesn't smell fresh.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. B-Rob and Rashad White.
Phil, morning guys. Purdy or CJ Stroud? Also need 2 in the full point PPR. Purdy it is. Ayuk, Olave, Mixon, Godwin. 2 of them.
We're sitting Mixon and Godwin.
Okay, agreed.
Olave Day.
Marcus McLean. Hey guys, I need a flex. Half PPR. Jordan Addison, Jonathan Taylor, or Stevenson.
Addison.
By the way, if you're having fun, like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Do those things. It's good for you. Do it. And if you like the stream, you subscribe to the channel, you drop a comment or a question below, you could win that Trophy Smack trophy there. Look at that. It's showering glory on the side. Now look at it. It's full glory. 36 inches of fantasy football glory. Again, like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Comment below. Just click that little bell.
Can we get one of those mailed to you, Joey?
Beautiful.
Get that for like
no. I don't. I want to.
We can get.
I want to earn mine. I want to earn. Now, if I got this, what I would do is I would give it to the winner of the Black Book Charity League, which we do for St. Jude's every year. Because despite my stupidity, I do some good things here and there. So that's who I would give it to. I would give it to them. So I would pay for the shipping and handling. It's I don't mind paying for the shipping. It's the handling. Very. I don't know how. Why am I paying
extra for it to be handled with care?
Well, it depends. Depends on how it's handled. I want to know. It's the shipping. The shipping, I understand. It's the
handling. I mean, the handling can cost you, Joey. Especially,
that's what I've heard. I've heard the handling is where they really get you.
Yeah, it is.
But why is it? Why do we pay for it? Why isn't it just shipping? Like, it's shipping cost. Can I pay less and nobody handles it? Maybe.
Oh,
get your hands off it.
See, you know what? That's an idea. Bookmark that LLC.
What do you do for a living?
Here we go.
I'm in handling. No one ever says that. No one ever says that.
No.
I work for a shipping company. That they say. Do I work for a handling
head
company?
Handler? Is that a job title?
I don't know, John. That's something you could check out. But I'm afraid they might steal your laptop.
Don't make John Google that. There's no telling what comes up on Google these days.
Handling refers to the packing of the goods since receiving them. What if I'm doing the packing? Like, John's
I'm not touching this. You can't bait me with this.
James Neal, what are we doing?
What
are we doing with Laporta this week? I start Logan Thomas over him with the question. Yeah, you could start Logan Thomas. Like, that's a good pivot.
Start Logan Thomas. That's a good pivot.
That's a good pivot today. Yep. Scott Pulliam, PPR, Taylor or Foreman?
Foreman. Not close, Foreman.
Really? Over Jonathan Taylor still?
Okay. Yeah, dude.
All right. Just
He
checking.
plays 30 or 40% of the snaps. Good run defense. Are you happy with the 12 touches that you get out of Jonathan Taylor today versus 20 for Foreman? Probably not.
Happy with all the touches and the handling. Toon Raider.
You and your
Should
handling.
I trade Jordan Addison to get Lamar Jackson? Ooh, I like this.
Yeah. If you can do that, sure.
Yeah. VR. What's good, boys? PPR 2, pick 2, Devonta Smith, Pittman, Olave.
We're sitting Pittman.
Okay, Frankie Postal. I bet Frankie Postal knows a thing or two about shipping and handling. Can't make this stuff up, folks. You can't make this stuff up.
Sometimes the stream provides, baby. The stream provides.
Should I trade Waller and Pierce for Ingram and Sanders?
Ew.
Waller and Pierce for Ingram and Sanders. No.
It just feels like an exchange of less than pretty things.
Wait, Sanders is hurt. Ingram is fine. So it's like, okay, do I want to trade the healthy running back and for the healthy tight end?
I'm staying with Waller side.
Look, just hit the waiver wire. Go pick up Thomas. He's got to be out there. What's Logan Thomas's roster percentage right now? Off the top of your head, what do you think it is? I'm going to look. It can't be great. It can't be 50.
32%. Oddly specific number right now.
That is a very specific number.
I know.
Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas, you said 32%?
I did.
Okay.
You're price is right.
More than you. It's more than 59% roster.
Really? Oh, the people are listening. You love it.
We are influencers. We are moving.
Well, you're a TikTok influencer. We
I'm
need
to
give you. I know you are. You are. I'm just trying to get to your level, Joey.
Follow me at Fantasy Pro Joe on TikTok. That's my TikTok handle. That's fun.
I know.
Right?
I believe you.
I made a commitment that I would change.
It's funny that I think you need to promo that because people already know you're the influencer. People
when I hit my 5-year anniversary here at Fantasy Pros in a few years, hopefully, fingers crossed. If HR doesn't get rid of me by then, I would. I'm going to change my X handle to Fantasy Pro Joe too because I like the way that sounds. But right now, still just because I don't even know how.
I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do that with social media. I think the more popular thing is like Joe_FantasyPro is how that's supposed to go.
Erickson's got an underscore after his name. I don't even understand that. How does it even work?
What's he leading into? I feel like it's a cliffhanger. Like we're gonna get led into something, but then you're like, okay, it's gonna.
Yeah. No, then it doesn't. Jose
Vasquez,
help! Pick 3, full PPR. St. Brown, Olave, Puka, Ayuk. Who's the odd man out? It's a good problem to have.
This is a very good problem to have. I would say Olave.
Olave's out.
Man, no.
Yep. Ty Forkner. Good morning. Superflex PPR. Should I start PJ Walker or Quentin Johnston or Shaheed? Not great options.
Not great options. Let's go Shaheed, baby. Let's go Shaheed.
You know,
I'm not playing PJ Walker. He could get you like singled. I don't care.
I watched some XFL.
You watch too much XFL. This is not the XFL, sir.
He hate me.
No shade. No shade to the XFL. Made a lot of money.
That's got to be the greatest thing. He hate me was the greatest thing ever because it made no sense and the guy just ran with it. I love it. Chris Pina, PPR, Cousins, Kirk, Judy, Garrett Wilson, James Cook for Kelsey, Debo, Stroud. Is that a good trade? So let's break this down. Cousins, Kirk, Judy, Garrett Wilson going one way, getting back Kelsey, Debo, Stroud, and James Cook. I actually think that's pretty good. I like getting Kelsey. Look, Judy is not very useful.
I think it's good. I think.
By the way, you want to talk about like HR calling somebody? How about Steve Smith, number 89, giving it to Judy this past week?
Ooh, he gave him the business. He gave him the business, man.
My favorite thing is that he went through the whole story and then he came back around. So Jerry Judy, after all of this is what I think of you.
Yeah, well,
think about putting somebody.
I'm only going to leave it with this. Did you see the game Jerry Judy had? You see how he responded to that?
I did.
That says it all.
We love Crow. Crow's always here every Sunday. Crow the Warrior Princess. Good morning, pros. No question today. Just wanted to say thank you for all the amazing work and content.
Aww.
You're appreciated. Hashtag bald is beautiful. Hashtag Crow. This is like my Taylor Swift heart going out to you.
Love you.
Can I do it right? There you go.
My head's getting kind of dewy just thinking about it.
That's very nice of you, Crow. If you're enjoying the stream, like the stream and stay with us because after these two idiots are gone, you're going to get two professionals. Tara Roberts and the Welsh are going to take you through the next hour, answer real questions for you and do a good job, not like us. Stacy Cole, good morning. Need 2.5 PPR. Evans, Debo, or Puka?
I'm sitting Evans.
Are you worried about Debo's health?
I'm not worried about Debo's health. I'm more
Mm.
worried about the man coverage stuff versus Cleveland. But in those matchups, he's gotten a little bit more rushing attempts on the ground. So I think that's how he compensates this week.
I just heard a delivery come to my door because my office is close to the door. The home studio is to pull the curtain back. I wonder if that's the Jack Links box. I'm wondering, did they hear me?
Did they knock on the door and say, "Here's the beef.
Here's the meat.
Here's
Here it
the
is.
beef.
Take the protein sticks. Take all of
Here's
it."
the beef.
I hope so. Jack Links, sponsor the show. Jack Links, if you're listening, I'm out. Let's go. I need more. I'm jonesing for the meat sticks. Gamer Opa 87, half PPR, running back Robinson from Washington, or Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Chris Berlotti, half PPR. Flex needed T. Higgins, Chuba, or Gabe Davis.
Chuba.
Chris Bigiman. Good morning, fellas. PPR. Who to start? Wilson, Olave, or Pittman?
Olave?
Wasn't a lot of confidence there. I would start Pittman. I like Pittman with Minshew.
I am Ron Burgundy.
Ron Burgundy. I like Pittman.
I'm going to go Olave with him. Yep. I like Pittman this
Olave
week.
is a good start on paper, too.
Yeah.
Let's go to RRQ89. PPR, start 1 RB, 1 flex. So Breece Hall, James Cook, Addison, Jacoby Myers. Man, I love Jacoby Myers this week. You know that. I love it.
Yep.
But you're going to start him over Addison? I know you probably say no. You like Addison more.
I like Addison more. That game environment's going to be disgusting, Joe. Like that there's nothing that's like pushing the Raiders in that environment. The Patriots are just going to flop this week again. Give me James Cook.
I think I know what pushes the Raiders. It's to score on the Patriots. I think that's
fair.
To keep putting it up on them.
I think Bill is going to push Bailey Zappi on the field this week.
I want to see Malik Cunningham. He got elevated and signed to a 3-year deal. Let's go. I don't know what this means. I mean, at this point, the Patriots could be a 1-win team. I'm telling you, like, this is not good. No, all the Caleb Williams. Like,
I was fixing to say, this is just all I hear is tank for Caleb. That's all I hear.
You know what, though? Notre Dame handed him his lunch last night. They blitzed him. They picked him off 3 times. Handed him his lunch on the big stage.
If the Patriots, tell me this, Joey, if the Patriots got to the number 1 pick, would Caleb pull the I'm going to stay in college card?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think New England has ownership that believes.
And I don't know. I mean, when you can go get offensive tutelage from Big Bobbert up there, you got to stay away. I
don't think so. Look, I mean, look, I know the narrative right now is cool to be saying, well, it's all Tom Brady. And it was a lot of Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady's the guy.
A lot of Tom Brady.
It's a lot of Tom Brady. But let's not pretend like Bill Belichick is bad at football now. Like, I'm
not saying that, but the Patriots, when was the last time they played good football, Joe? Tell me that.
When Tom Brady was still around.
Exactly. So,
but the point I'm making is, well, actually, you know what? They did make the playoffs with Mac Jones, right? Rookie season. And then they got their doors blown off by the Bills. Did they not?
You're the Patriots fan. You could quote that better than I can.
But here's the point I'm making is this. The point is that it's not like Bill Belichick all of a sudden can't coach anymore. I think Bill Belichick.
No, the defense is good. It just needs to
Bill
stay
Belichick got to a point where the league has evolved and he hasn't. He's been unwilling to evolve with it. Like, he doesn't understand. You have to have the Tyreek Hills. You have to have those alpha dog wide receivers now if you're going to compete, or you can't expect the quarterback to overcome all of that, and that's the problem. You can't do that anymore. Let's go to Dougie Yoon.
Evolution of him, like being in charge of personnel, that needs to go.
100%.
That's the problem. But
even when they were at their best, he wasn't always in charge of personnel. So that's like a newer phenomenon.
Yeah.
Dougie Yoon, Foreman or DeMarcado?
Foreman.
Captain Kegron. I go to Kegron right after this. This show. Hope you win all of your bets. Full PPR. Me too, Captain. Full PPR. Start Gabe Davis, Jacoby Myers, or Chris Godwin. It's Myers for floor for me, especially in the full PPR.
Yeah, it's Myers.
He's going to be 12 targets today, 8 catches for 80. That's 16 points right
there. And
know
they're going to zoom in on him when he scores a touchdown, and they're going to pan over to Bill, and he's going to look like he always does every single Sunday.
He always looks like that. He was like that.
I know, just
all right. Let's go to Personator78. What's up, gents? Help for the flex, half PPR. Palmer, Davis, or Chuba?
I'm gonna go Hubbard. I'm guessing that's Gabe Davis. I'm gonna go Hubbard.
Yes. It's not Sammy Davis. Who else would it be? What other Davis is there?
There's not a whole lot. There's not a lot of Davis.
I feel like there's like a dupes of everybody, but Davis, I can't off the top of my head.
Davises I can think of.
Davises. No,
Interesting.
no. Brian Lafort, Debo or Higgins in the standard. Well, Higgins isn't healthy, so
Yeah.
not that Debo is, but Debo's close.
Yeah, I'm going Debo though.
Let's go to Tommy D. Tommy D wants to know full PPR Ramondre or Rashad White. Gross.
Ew. Mondre.
Gross.
Ew.
All right. By the way, how do we feel about the beard coming in? Are we liking this? Is it too much?
I always tell you not to shave it. You never listen, Joey.
We should is there enough time for the poll? Can we get a poll? Do we like the beard? Do we keep the beard or get rid of the beard? John, I want the people.
We need polls to help Joe with life decisions like this.
Well, I'm gonna leave it to the
not to brush the teeth.
I'm liking it, but there's a lot of gray.
Well, you don't like it enough if you're asking America to tell you yes or no to shave it.
I like it enough. The problem is I go back and forth.
You don't.
This is a problem.
You don't like it enough. You don't love it. You need to.
Love this from the guy that does. I don't see a lot of gray in that beard yet. When the gray starts to come into.
Excuse me. We need to zoom into this. This is not all ginger here, baby.
Are you doing
this is gray?
Are you doing the Coleman?
Oh, just own it. You own the gray. It's like a badge of honor, man. I worked hard in life for this. Okay,
I struggled. Life was hard.
This first gray hair, kid number 1. Second gray hair, kid number 2. Third gray hair, the guy at Taco Bell to get me right order. They pile up, man. This one
right here is from that year of Matt Patricia running the Patriots offense. All right, Anthony.
All the rest are watching Bob run it this year.
Addison, Ayuk, Devonta Smith, or Kyron Williams in the flex. It's Ayuk for me or Devonta Smith. I think that's the way we're going to go. Good problems to have, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ayuk.
All right. Wazzy boy, DeMarcado or Foreman? I'm struggling at RB. No kidding, Wazzy.
Yep, Foreman. That's not a bad problem to have. Foreman's going to play good this week.
Foreman will be fine. Jared Lashak, PPR, Taylor or Damian Pierce?
Pierce.
Jan Liederhaus. Drop Akers, Gainwell, or Elliott. Who's bottom of the barrel here? Akers,
Elliott. Can I say all of the above?
I'm dropping Elliott.
He's old. All of the above. We'll go with Elliott if we have to pick one.
The crowd has spoken. John put up a poll. Do we like Joe's beard? 86% yes. 13%
Can we keep that going so Joey doesn't shave? We have to talk him into it to reaffirm his position every week.
I need this. Sometimes we all need a little positive reinforcement. Confucius say, a tough question for you. That's who it's from. It's from Confucius say. I'm not making these things up. This is the name of the person. Confucius say.
I thought you were leading into a joke. I didn't know where that was going. I did not know where that was going.
No, but we should open fortune cookies live on the show.
Oh, that would be great.
All right, let's get to start Ayuk or James Cook in the Superflex.
Oh, we're going James Cook. Why do we have the Superflex? You put him in the quarterback?
Wait, you're playing James Cook over Ayuk? I'm not doing that.
Why are you doing that?
The Welsh is nodding his head in the green room. I'm going to let you two fight that out. By the way, stick around because we're going to change over in a moment. Tara and Welsh are going to take you through the next hour. Let's go to Justin Marchant. Pick 2, full point PPR. Jordan Addison, Nico Collins, Garrett Wilson. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Justin.
Happy Sunday.
Addison and Nico. I mean, I can't start
Agreed.
Garrett Wilson. I can't do it. It's like desperation start. Now, do we get clarity? Is Jalen Carter not playing today yet? Do we get that?
Oh, I don't think. No, he's been ruled out. He's out.
They're like, you know what? It's the Jets. We'll be fine. Let's give Jalen a week off. That's what they're thinking. I'm telling you, that's what they're thinking.
And they're not wrong.
No, they're still going to sack him 8,000 times. David Hernandez, bench 1, PPR. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka, DJ Moore, Calvin Ridley. David, what did you do? This is amazing.
I know.
Is anyone else trying?
Make a trade. Come on, David. Make a trade.
No, I'll tell you what happened. They drafted Amon-Ra. They picked up Puka.
You're going to deal with this every week.
They got a discount on Calvin Ridley and DJ Moore.
Man, this is beautiful.
You're playing DJ Moore this week, for sure. So who's the odd man out? I mean, I think. I guess it's
Brown.
Puka?
No,
you still gonna play Puka over St. Brown?
Yes,
it's hard to sit St. Brown.
The passing volume. Puka's going to get 10 plus targets in this one. St. Brown maybe gets there, but
All right.
Detroit might just hurdle. We'll see.
They just might. We're going to hurdle this broadcast over to Tara Roberts and the Welsh, two true professionals taking you through the next hour of fantasy football. So like the stream, stay with us, subscribe to Fantasy Pros, win yourself that trophy, have some Jack Link's protein snacks while you're watching the stream, enjoying the game. Again, we're the second screen experience. You can watch the game and watch us at the same time on your device. So do that. So hang with us for more football talk right here. That'll do it for me and Derek Brown. Tara and the Welsh start right now.
Hello, friends, and welcome in. It is week 6 action. I am Chris Welsh, aka my formal name, We've got Tara Roberts in here. It's Tara time. We got week 6 stuff for you. Whatever you got, put questions in the chat. I highly suggest that you start loading them up. The quicker you do, the better chance that we have at answering all of your stuff. We're going to be going through whatever injuries are going to pop up. We're kind of waiting on Saquon Barkley here and what action's going to be going down there. We got some poll questions. Got a whole bunch for you. Tara, are you ready to get into some week 6 stuff?
Oh, yeah, because the questions are going to be fun. I already feel it.
I can feel it too. Are you at all, am I alone here? Absolutely sick of these games that are starting just before I wake up. Am I the only, like, I don't want to be negative here, but these games that are like, I'm like waking up, I'm ready to talk to you guys, and we're at halftime in these London games, on all these players, they're, the action, the play is so slow and so marauding, and I feel like the offenses are studded. I want to be like all everywhere, but I'm sick of these London games.
I mean, I love it for my UK brethren over there to enjoy the games. I just wish that I could sit down and like watch the game fully, because I'm answering the questions and I'm over here like I was just doing a live on the Fantasy Pros Instagram channel, and I had like my alerts up over here, and I don't want to spoil it for them. So I'm like, something amazing just happened that made me happy, but I won't specifically tell you unless in case you're behind. So yeah, it's fun, but I might be ready for it to be over.
Yeah, a little ready for it to be over. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Is It The Welsh, at It's Tara Time. Let's load those questions up. I'm going to assume as soon as when I came in here, Joe and them did not get to these questions. You think that's good? Think that's good, John? Okay, so because there's a lot of questions and it's awesome. So like I said, load them up here. Let's kick the day off with Josh, who says full PPR need to start 2 of these 4: Olave, Godwin, Pittman, or Addison.
So Addison for sure. I love Addison this week. Think that this is, a potential top 10 breakout week for him. And then I will trust Olave that hopefully Carr's shoulder has gotten a little bit better. We're going to see some improvement there. So it's Addison and Olave for me.
All right. We are going to be in full agreement to kick off the show, which is an amazing sign. I love that. The Fantasy Pros consensus half PPR ranks say to us that it is Olave and Pittman. That would be the play for them. But I am a Jordan Addison stan this week. Hard stan. That's my favorite bet of the week as far as if you're betting in the prop market, receiving yards. I've also played in on the receptions. I have him, probably don't have him the highest of anybody, but I have him at like 14 or 15 in overall wide receiver ranks this week. I love Addison to be the role. And that brings up the great question of KJ Osborne, because I know there's going to be in some this week, is, him stepping into the quote, Justin Jefferson shoes in the role doesn't mean the targets are going to get there. But we had an interesting question that popped up on Spotify. So we've got fun poll questions as Joe learned about this new feature, John, and he was just like, give me a poll here, give me a poll there on everything. Do you like my beard? That's what we used it for. Oh yeah, did you? Well, no, I'm saying, but like the beard, like he's abusing his powers is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
But he put up they put up a poll earlier that said with Justin Jefferson out, will KJ Osborne be a top 36 wide receiver? 54.7% said no. Tara, what do you think? Can KJ Osborne, just getting to it since we're talking about Addison, I believe Addison's a guy, but he will get that first look role in a lot of instances. Do you think he could be at least be a top 36 wide receiver 3 this week?
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes when people hear like, top 36, it seems like, no, that's huge. That's big. Like 10 fantasy points can get you there towards the end of that list. So yeah, I do think that he has that and a little bit more upside as well.
I agree, but he comes in at 38 on the consensus rank. So he is just outside of it. I think if you're in full PPR, it's closer. Half PPR, it's probably still there, but I think Addison's the main guy. It feels very like Zay Jones type of, it'd be like, hey, he's got 6 catches for 65 yards, but Addison's got 7 for 115 and a score or something like that. That's how that
Zay Jones is a really good comparison there. Like it'll be up and down, and some days there'll be a big hit week and maybe it teeters over a little bit elsewhere. But yeah, that's a really good comparison actually. The usage of Zay Jones and what KJ Osborne can be.
Yeah, and Zay will always be with like another great receiver, like if there was a Calvin in there or like a Christian Kirk and stuff like that. Like that's the type of role that I would be looking at. Or maybe similar to how the Lions use Amon-Ra St. Brown and Josh Reynolds. The Josh Reynolds kind of plays that 4 to 5 catch. Shout out to Josh Reynolds last week, by the way. That 4 to 5 catch 50 to 60 yard marker. That's KJ Osborne this week. So he can be, at least according to Tara and I. All right. The Bosun, hello from Germany. Half PPR, Gabe Davis or Olave in flex. And this was a joke question. They said, keep the beard. I don't think they're talking about you, Tara. And they're definitely not talking about me. Do I get like a baby face? It would be better if I did the beard, but I can't grow a good beard in. Like it's splotchy. And it's really sad. Sad.
You can't get that Billy Musio beard going on.
No. Musio's a special kind. Complete opposite. But what say you on Olave? Or what did we have? Gabe Davis or Olave?
Yeah, that one is tough because I do have Olave higher rank, but Gabe has been so consistent. I love what I'm seeing out of him. I like the matchup. It's tough to say no to Gabe Davis. I will risk it with Olave. Man, that's close.
Yeah, I think this is like Olave is like a top 18 wide receiver this week. I don't quite have Gabe Davis there, and New Orleans offense isn't as awesome as it's been. I feel like they cheap out a lot. They go for the safety of a dump down to Kamara, or they think they ran him 22 times last week. So it doesn't feel as explosive. That even though Gabe Davis is kind of one of the big play options, but is number 2 in another offense, I'll go with Olave here. But I actually think it is a lot closer than maybe it feels. Matt Keller says, morning Fantasy Pros, Garrett Wilson or Rashad White in a PPR flex, or can waiver wire Deontay Foreman or Chuba Hubbard. So lots of options here. What do you think?
Yeah, that's very interesting. Because so I will say it's Garrett Wilson for me, but that White Foreman Hubbard situation is very close. But it's Garrett Wilson. I'll go with Garrett Wilson. They might have to push a little bit more pass volume to keep up with Philadelphia. This might be a weird game where, because of those injuries, they're going to have to Philadelphia might light up that defense, unfortunately.
I don't like this one. There's actually too many, I don't think any option is incredible, but I like them all kind of in the same way. I got to tell you, I feel like I want to say Chuba. I think this team is going to be from behind. I think they're going to be throwing with Chuba as well. Garrett Wilson is probably the safer play. They didn't say they did say it was PPR. Mm-hmm. Man, and Foreman too. I'm going to say Chuba. Screw it. I'm going to say Chuba here. It's Chuba or Wilson, if that helps on whatever side you were leaning. That is a very, very tough one, because I just think that role, especially they throw to the running back, that team does, whether it's Chuba and Miles Sanders together or individually, it's like 7 to 10 times per game. So even if they're playing from behind and they can't run the ball, they're going to throw to Chuba. He'll be the primary running back this week. I don't know. I think he can catch as many balls as Garrett Wilson, and you got the rushing upside. So I'm going to lean Chuba, but that's a tough one. Bold Caballero says, howdy, bros and pros. Full PPR sit to Nico, DJ Moore, Olave, Puka Pierce, Kyron Cook. We have to sit too. At least they gave us every option on their roster. Nico, DJ Moore, Olave, Puka, Pierce, Kyron, Cook. Oh my.
Pierce for sure. So that's my easy one there. Okay. And then I think it comes down between Kyron and James Cook. And James Cook is the one where I think I'm going to have to lean towards sitting him. Although I do like James Cook this week. Again, it could be a script where he doesn't have high utilization in the second half. Let's just say it that way. So if I had to sit another one with Pierce, it's going to be unfortunately, James Cook.
It is so dramatically not James Cook to me. This would be our big differential this week. I think James Cook is going to absolutely eat this week against the Giants. The Giants, they stink against running backs. They give up 135 yards a game to backs. I mean, and also because they're just so piss poor, the rushing attempts 25 per game. They gave up obviously 216 last week. They've given up over 100-yard rushing to running backs every single week. Latavius Murray kind of makes it a little bit of a bleh, but I think James Cook is going to crush this week. So I'm not sitting him. I'm sitting Nico, even though Tank Dell is out. I think Nico's kind of like a safer-ish option, but DJ Moore, absolutely playing. Olave, absolutely. Puka, absolutely. Kyron, love the matchup. And James Cook is a must for me. So it's easy Nico and Pierce. So I'm just very sad that you're sitting James Cook.
I can't sit Nico this week. I can't do it. I can't. I know.
All right. Nico versus James Cook. That's the Terra versus Welsh Bowl. You already heard it, so lock it in. David says, bench 1 in PPR. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka, DJ Moore, or Calvin Ridley. Bench 1.
Do I have to? Calvin Ridley. I'm sorry, Calvin. It's you.
Yeah, I don't trust Calvin anymore, and that's what stinks. I really wanted to believe that was going to keep going, but Christian Kirk and how he's being used in the offense. Also, just the Jaguars kind of stink. Like, they just don't move the ball how we want them to. So, like, how could you trust Calvin? I would love to hear the argument. How could you trust Calvin over any of these guys? Puka's a number 2 with Cooper Kupp in that offense is 1,000 times more trustable, my fake word, than Calvin Ridley.
I will say that I do think that this matchup right here against now Indianapolis defense, it isn't a layup, but I would prefer to attack it through the air if I'm going to choose one versus the other. That said, I do like Travis Etienne, but I feel like this could be that Trevor Lawrence game where he finally gives us a little something, and Ridley could be the beneficiary. But I'm not going to risk that when I've got those solid options there.
Yeah, and so that's the problem. I feel like that little something he's going to give us is like 5 times to Ridley, and that's it. And then it's Ingram, and then it's Christian Kirk. That's what kind of stinks. You want to love Ridley, but you just can't right now. This episode of the Week 6 live stream is brought to you by Jack Link's Protein Snacks. We've been talking to you guys about them for multiple weeks. There is no better way to enjoy a game than with Jack Link's Protein Snacks. From jerky and beef sticks to steaks and more, Jack Link's delivers 100% beef and a wild assortment of delicious flavors. Just what you need to help feed your wild side. Shop now at jacklinks.com, or you can just go to a local retailer and pick up some Jack Links today. Feed that wild side. Did you see the video in what was it, Washington, of the Sasquatch that sat down?
Yeah.
I'm being dead honest here. I 100% thought this was an amazing marketing ploy. I thought Jack Links was doing this. I was ready for that camera to zoom in, and then that thing was to be like, ooh, and do that. I was guaranteeing it, but nothing has come of it. So I don't know. Maybe there's do you believe in the Sasquatch?
No, I do not, unfortunately. I got to put all potential scary things in the back burner and say it can't be real. All things, vampires and all that. No.
I mean, yeah, I don't believe in vampires either. I mean, I agree with you there. They're like vampires and superheroes and stuff like that, and villains I don't believe in. But Sasquatch is a little bit closer. I'm going to abuse my powers. John, we need a poll. Do you believe Sasquatch is real? We are going to find out. I don't want to skew the rating or anything.
Put a megalodon in there as well. Let's get okay.
So now we're just doing.
Yeah, let's pick our monsters that we're putting in there.
All right. Well, let's start with this monster with Halloween coming up, and then we'll pick out some other monsters. So we have to gauge where the audience is. How much do you believe? And then let's say it is in favor of Sasquatch. Then let's pick 3 monsters and say if one is real, which one? And then we'll do Megalodon. I'm not as scared about the Megalodon because I have to be in the water to do it. I can actively avoid that than your vampires. The vampire one got me. That killed me. All right. Chad says Rachaad White. Getting back to the questions here. All your questions, load them up in the chat. We've got Rachaad White or Deontay Foreman with Roschon Johnson out. This is full PPR. I sneaky like Foreman this week, and Rachaad White's got a bad matchup. Is it enough though, Tara?
In full PPR, I'm still going with Rachaad White. If it wasn't full PPR, I'd be with you and saying that I can go with Foreman. But I agree. I like this for Foreman, but we know he has no pass catching upside, unfortunately.
And there's a little bit. I like that. I mean, even if Roshan was in, he was going to probably have third down pass blocking. But he doesn't. They just don't throw him the ball. He had like a 3-catch game earlier this year, so it is limited. This offense seems to like to throw it. I actually think Foreman does have some pass catching upside this week because of how the offense runs, and he's the guy. But it's Rachaad White because, you might have a 6-catch, 7-catch week out of Rachaad White. I don't know if he's going to be able to run the ball. So I actually kind of like that one. Jeremy, my boy, Josh Reynolds or Drake, we're not canceling the games London.
Drake London is I love Josh Reynolds still, but I will lean towards going with Drake London.
Yeah, I kind of want to, just out of like solidarity to all you guys that gave me props last week for the Josh Reynolds call before. I actually don't hate him this week, but coming off of that game where Atlanta finally figured out like, oh yeah, we could like pass, and then they found some effectiveness, I kind of think they're going to at least attempt to do it again. So I'd give London the slight upside. The thing I do like about Reynolds is Jahmyr Gibbs out. With Jahmyr Gibbs in, I was a little bit worried. Amon-Ra is going to get what he gets, but with Amon-Ra back, it just might take off some of the... I didn't like how the one thing they did last week was they became like the Chiefs, like Patrick Mahomes. You're like, here's Khalif Raymond. And they had like 4 different receivers they kept throwing to. That might simmer down a little bit this week with Amon-Ra back out, but Reynolds is still just a little too scary. It's very close, but I'll go with London. Darian says, good morning, Tara and Welsh. Help wanted. PPR, pick 2. Waddle, Nico, or Mike Evans? Well, 2 of the 3.
Well, so here's the thing. While I want to say, while I want to include Mike Evans again, yes, he had the bye week, but hamstring injury coming off of that, you got to be a little bit careful. So that right there makes me say that I'm okay with going with Waddle and Collins this week.
Yeah, I'm knocking Mike Evans off because of the injury. Maybe he gets the targets. He doesn't seem 100% whether you're playing or not. So this is pretty easy. Nico and Waddle for me as well. Nicodemus says start Swift, Etienne, and Kamara for my flex. Good idea or no? That sounds like a great idea.
Great idea. I like it.
What do we not like about this? What's the other option? McCaffrey? Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we full approve. If we had Jack Links, we'd snap into it and be like, yeah. All right. Andrew says Nico Collins or Deebo Samuel. Deebo's got a tough matchup this week. I'm a little indifferent about my 49ers and the wide receiver options. I kind of actually think slightly this could be one of the Deebo games with how that defense plays. I think Ayuk gets some targets and he's the number 1 for Brock Purdy. But if you're trying to get sneaky and innovative like the 49ers like to do, it might be a lot of short passes outside of Ayuk, and that might be rushing with Deebo and short passes for some yak. The same thing with George Kittle. I don't know if that's enough to get me off of Nico, though. What say you, Tara?
Yeah, it's not enough, unfortunately. I would just rather roll with Nico this week. So it's Nico over Deebo.
All right, let's see. Nico over Deebo. Let's see where the rankers are. We've got, look at this. Deebo is wide receiver 26 and half PPR, and Nico Collins is wide receiver 27. So they are right next to each other. I don't know. Nico has a chance to be like the number 1, and they might be playing from behind. So I think I would give him a slight edge. Let me see where I have them rank. I think I have, I might have to change it this morning. I have Deebo slightly ahead. I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too. I love when we have these things like, because I use this as we're sitting here answering the questions and debating it out, and I realize, you know what, man, I think that I actually do like him more than someone else, and I can make that last minute adjustment.
Here's the only last thing I'll say about Deebo and why I could make the move to play him. Obviously that Browns defense is really great, but PJ Walker is the quarterback. How many first downs do you think that team is going to get? And if it's under 4, which feels very likely, jokes aside, if that offense just immediately keeps getting off the field, that defense is going to be gassed and exhausted. And you want to know what? The number 1 yak wide receiver over the last couple of years, Deebo Samuel, is the type of guy that wears defenses out and is going to get those extra yards. That's what could end up getting sneaky, especially them also using him in the backfield. So I'm saying Nico has a better target share. I think Deebo exponentially better touchdown option this week than Nico Collins. So if that plays any role into it, so maybe half PPR and touchdown based things, I'd go Deebo. Full PPR, maybe I go Nico just because he might get like 7, 8 targets or something like that.
Yeah.
John, I'll let you tell me, how is the poll going? We still have a little bit. I don't want to preemptively jump into it. Okay. Yeah, I want to know how we want to let the Sasquatch. Okay, we want the Sasquatch to marinate and everything like that. Just like he sat down. We don't want to go too quick here. Robinson Cano. Happy Sunday. Need a flex help. Please pick one. Deontay Foreman, Mike Evans, or Gabe Davis.
Oh man. I kind of lean towards going. So Foreman is the safe option, but Gabe Davis has been very reliable. I actually would like to go with Gabe Davis over both of these options.
I'm going to go Foreman. I'm a sucker. We've already established this with me. I'm more fuddy-duddy. I lean running backs a lot, which sometimes isn't the best. This is the chance to be workhorsey. This is against the Minnesota Vikings. He's the guy. Justin Fields is probably the leading rusher, but I do think Foreman is going to get used on multiple sides. Gabe Davis is a great play. I'll tell you this. I think Gabe and Foreman are in a tier above Mike Evans right now. Yeah. And that's kind of where I would give you that. So I'm going to lean Foreman for the running back. You didn't tell us your format, so maybe your format would be a little bit more dependent. Maybe full PPR, you go Gabe Davis or something like that. But it's a little close. Callie says, sit one, Mixon, Lockett, or Gabe Davis. I didn't realize it's the Gabe Davis stream today, but it is. This is full PPR. You got to sit one.
We're at these wide receiver and running back things. It will be Mixon. It will be. The upside is just limited. I think Lockett and Davis can get you to exactly that floor and ceiling technically that Mixon has. The floor and ceiling is basically the same thing for him. So Mixon gets you one thing, which is fine. It's a safe option, but there's just the upside just isn't there, unfortunately.
I kind of agree that the upside isn't there, but it's also Seattle. I want to take a look here on what Seattle has done up against running back so far this year. Seattle actually has not given up a 100-yard rusher the entire season. The problem, they're averaging 59 yards to running backs. The problem is they've given up 5 rushing touchdowns, averaging over a full touchdown just rushing to running back so far. They have given up over 40 yards receiving and at least 6 catches in 3 of the last 4 matchups as well. So there's a path for Mixon to get, to get some receiving and get to 100 total. I think I'm going to sit Lockett on this one. I feel like Lockett's kind of no. I like the over in that one. Gabe Davis. I'm going to stick with just sitting Gabe Davis all day. That's like Tank Dell last week. I just sat Tank everywhere. I'm sitting Gabe. I'm going to go Lockett and Mixon. That's pretty boring, actually. Flack Attack says, do I go crazy and put Barkley in over Debo or Hubbard? I haven't seen yet. We're still waiting on the Barkley news, but do you risk it to go Barkley in over Debo? And I guess they're also asking Hubbard.
No, I don't risk it. I mean, we've kind of gotten he's expected to play, but the thing is that we've got at this point, if you've got a running back who is still more of a game time decision, not 100% confirmed, you have to imagine the likelihood of him getting in there and getting a full workload is slim to none. So that's the big issue there, is that I do think Saquon will be out there. I can't fathom a situation where Saquon gets a significant workload. Terrible offensive line, injuries, no quarterback. It's just a recipe for disaster. So if you can pivot to much safer options, and I think Debo and Hubbard are both safer options, I would bench Barkley, unfortunately.
Yeah, if Barkley's limited too, Debo might have as many rushing yards as Barkley this week. I love Hubbard, you guys can probably tell. So I don't know. It's not worth it. I don't think the upside is there, especially because if this team ends up getting smashed, which is, it's likely, it's Buffalo. If they end up getting absolutely smashed, what's going to be the incentive to get Saquon extra carries at the end of the game? No way. Absolutely not. So I wouldn't risk it based on your options here. Let's go to the poll. I was going to do a read, but let's do the poll real quick, and then we'll come back to another read here in a second, because this is incredible. Wait till you hear this, Tara. 52% of people in the chat believe in Sasquatch. So there you go, Jack Links. We have believers. It is pretty close. 52% in the believers of the Sasquatch. So here's what I present to everybody. Let's find 3 things that we are going to pull against each other. Tara has submitted Megalodon. We probably won't see it in the chat because we got lots of questions, and maybe I'm screwing us here because I'm going to litter the chat with some of this. But just some submissions. What would you like us to pair against? You can have vampires, whatever you want. Like, what are the things that toe the line? Aliens is probably going to be there. What toes the line of the creepy that you refuse to believe in, Tara?
Oh, let's see. I gave Megalodon. We put vampires out there. I know. I like watch. I'm weird. Like me and my 3-year-old went through a phase where we were watching like shark videos before bed on TikTok.
Sure. Well, like Jason Statham, there's like the Megalodon. I watched that recently, so great movie. Yeah, that just made me laugh. It's just like when you're talking about like, oh, there's all the creepy stuff, and then like the Megalodon came up. It just gets me.
People are very passionate about that one. Really.
Yeah,
we could do Loch Ness Monster if we were like.
Oh, that's a good one.
We're London themed, so yeah, let's go that direction.
Okay, yeah. So John, I'll let you pick if you want to pick some. If you guys want to drop some in the chat, what are things that are maybe believable, spooky scaries or something like that? So because we're believing in Sasquatch, we're believing in a lot more. Shout out to Jack Links for giving us the motivation and all of that for it. All right, let's get back to some questions. Jeff says Olave or Addison this week on the Fantasy Start questions, which you guys can keep loading up into the chat. Olave or Addison?
I say, I don't say Olave. I say Addison. I say Addison.
You say nay. We are going. Yeah, I know. I'm with you too. That one is a tough one. I hate the idea of sitting Olave, but has Olave had a week? I should probably go. I'd have to compare this, but has Olave beat his rank in a single week? You know how Fantasy Pros has really great, just like even simplistic tools and all their amazing ones that you can go and check fantasy points per week. And then you can check the weekly ranks and compare. I don't think Olave has beat his weekly rank once this year. Does that sound right?
I think so. I mean, it makes sense because he's been a top 15. He has not gotten over 20 fantasy points in a game. So yeah, realistically, that could make sense.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that's the case. So I would go with Addison here. DeWitt says Ramondre Stevenson or Tyler Lockett, PPR.
Tyler Lockett. I get it. It's Vegas, and we saw even like I can't remember. Like I know I was like ridiculously anti AJ Dillon last week, and he still had a decent game against that sad Vegas defense. So I can see where this is a better opportunity for Ramondre, but I can't do it. Tyler Lockett.
I also can't do it. I'm a firm do not start Stevenson until he does something. But I will tell you, I'm not going to change my mind because Terry, you're about to give me that look. I'm going to say Lockett here. But if Stevenson is going to do it, it's got to be this week. If it's ever going to happen, it has to be against the Raiders. Yeah. This has to be the adjustment. They're already talking about, there's these rumors flying around of Malik Cunningham might get some playing time. They're already thinking about doing other things. The one thing, the constant, should be Ramondre Stevenson. They have not given him a full workload at all. That would be the change. So if it's going to happen, it has to happen this week. If that's something that is just sitting inside of you and you've got to make the adjustment, but I would go with Tyler Lockett. Break the tie, Edward says, Devontae Smith or Brandon Ayuk?
I would go with Brandon Ayuk. I know people are concerned about weather and matchup there, obviously, but I still lean towards Brandon Ayuk.
I believe I'm going to take Devontae Smith, and I believe you can take Devontae Smith because Sauce Gardner locking up on A.J. Brown.
Well, Sauce is not playing, so that's the only.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
We got no Sauce, no DJ Reed, so that's where that Philadelphia defense could absolutely light up the Jets defense this week. So this is a better situation for Devontae. So I can see the argument there.
When did the Sauce news come down?
Friday. It was random.
God,
he was listed as having an illness randomly, and then it turns out concussion. So
undercooked. All right. I'm going to stick with it. Doesn't really change how I feel about Ayuk. That changed a little bit how I feel about Devontae Smith, but I'm going to still go with him. One thing I can tell you guys, if you guys are dealing with all of your confusing start and sit questions, we're not always here And I don't always know that Sauce isn't playing on Friday. And the best way that you guys can get all of your lineup stuff hooked up is with Fantasy Pros and the Autopilot tool. Because if you're confused who to start, you're worried you're going to make that wrong choice, you can't get to us on a live stream, let us do the work for you and take the stress out of the lineup management with Playbook's Autopilot tool. Autopilot makes it easier to manage your fantasy team's lineup, get suggested lineup changes via email. You can have us auto swap inactive players for you. You can turn on full autopilot mode, and it'll just put together the most optimal lineup every single week, which is pretty awesome. Use Autopilot at fantasypros.com/myplaybook or the Fantasy Football My Playbook app for both peace of mind and the best shot at victory each week. And that is just one of like a gajillion amazing tools that My Playbook has for you at your disposal. I could easily weave and tie them in every question we have, because that is how robust My Playbook is. So go and check it out today. All right. Man, the Olave. Let's just do this one. Cole said PPR, Olave or Kirk? I mean, it is like Olave and Gabe Davis week. Yeah. It's crazy.
I would still play Olave over Kirk. That's probably my line right there.
I think it's pretty close, but I'll go with Olave as well. Parsonator says, good morning. Need help for flex, half PPR, Josh Palmer. And I guess the Davis is Gabe and Hubbard is in there. And I guess we're picking one.
Half PPR. I still lean towards going with Gabe Davis.
Yeah, you guys know where I'm going. I'm going Chuba. You can start. You guys will be able to start answering some of the questions as we've answered here on a few of these ones. Let's take a quick get in here. John said on our poll, we're trying to get the spooky creepies in here because apparently we believe in Sasquatch. Ghosts came up a few times and we got one man bear pig. That's amazing. And
that's a good one.
I think like aliens, ghosts, and then I think you said Loch Ness, not to drive it, but like I think those three might be like really good ones just to throw out there as the like, do we believe in this type of thing for Halloween? Ghosts would be most appropriate. London for Sasquatch, and I don't know, maybe aliens don't fall into that thing, but I think we're getting closer. John will put up the poll here in just a tiny bit. You guys can keep putting in there. Put man bear pig. Man bear pig's a good one. All right, getting back to it. We have, just trying to figure out here. Roberto says, greetings from Germany. Flex 1, Devontae, Hollywood, or Addison? This is really a Devontae or Addison question.
Yeah, it is. Despite my love for Hollywood, I'm okay with going with Addison. That is my preference there over Devontae.
Yeah, I'm also Addison. I mean, again, this is like you and I have gone through this. Addison is definitely the guy that we're going to be picking here. That's going to be like our big championship win this week. Like we're going to do or die by Jordan Addison for sure. Mark says Rachaad White, Hubbard, Gabe Davis, Godwin, half PPR, need 2. His opponent is stacked. So to me, that is a cry for help that they need huge upside. We need upside for Mark because of his opponent. So White, Hubbard, Gabe, and Godwin. If I could just say, I feel like Hubbard and Gabe Davis are your home run plays. If you're looking for home runs, White might be kind of safe in a half PPR. Godwin is safe. Godwin actually, I think I would mix it personally. I'm probably going to mix it Godwin and Hubbard because I think Godwin still provides a lot of upside and receptions. Gabe Davis can be a little do or die where Hubbard could get full volume. So I'm going to go both sides of Hubbard and Godwin, but will you go full like upside mode? Because I feel like Gabe is going to be in your lineup here. So this might be what, Hubbard versus White or Godwin?
Yes, you are correct. Gabe is the lock for me. I am full go on Gabe Davis today. Especially, I love it when we get the details that you need the high upside swing because of the opponent. So yeah, it's Gabe Davis and Hubbard for me.
Okay, so you're gonna join me on Hubbard. Yeah, so that is your. We both agree that if you're going for home run plays, those are the home run plays to hit. So there you go, Mark. Jake says half PPR, Ramondre or Deontay Foreman? That's a great question. That's exactly where we are in week 6.
I mean, it's still an easy one for me. I'm going down to Foreman. Poor Ramondre. I roster him in one dynasty league, and poor thing's just sitting on my bench after burning me earlier in the week. Like I was a believer, but Bill Belichick has just like obliterated my belief system.
Half PPR on the Fantasy Pros rank from the consensus rankers. We have got Ramondre at 21 and Deontay's at 25. So he's almost moved into that territory. Let me look real quick. Who is it?
I know I am fully further down on Ramondre behind ECR this week, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I wanted to look at the Raiders because, I mean, not that the Raiders have incredible upside. They're averaging 100 yards rushing given up per game, around 24 carries. They're giving up a decent amount on the receiving side as well. As far as the number one RBs, I'm just taking a look here. 52 yards from Javonte. We had James Cook put up 123. Najee put up only 65. And Josh Kelly put up only 65. And yeah, I mean, so it's like only one back has burned the Raiders so far, and it's been James Cook. Ramondre just doesn't get the volume. That's the problem. There's no trust in the volume of it, which I think you need. He's probably more representative of a guy like James Cook, but I guess I would go with Foreman too. I feel gross about that. I'm going to have to make that adjustment on my rank because they're right next to each other. That one feels yucky.
Yeah. It's like, so the thing about New England is that I spend that's why I know the random sauce stuff. I spend my whole Friday on injuries. And New England is obliterated in a scary way across the board. The offensive line, the defensive line, the secondary, it's tragic. It really is. I got a bad feeling about this game. And then we've got on the opposite end, we've got Jacoby Myers coming in ready to like obliterate the Patriots. Like, yeah, this is like a scary script in my opinion.
And so it's our theme. It's our which, by the way, Friday was Friday the 13th, by the way. I was out at, where was I Friday? Not seeing about Sauce. I was at Arizona Fall League is out here. It's my Scorpions hat, which everyone should like. Speaking of creepy scaries. But Friday the 13th came and left, and it was nothing crazy for us. So that was good. John, whenever you have the creepies, let us know who the creepies are, and then we'll just announce it. You can put the poll up whenever, but I'll announce who it is. You can put it in the chat or whatever, and we will get there. All right, moving on. Tom says, good morning. 1 through 4 Superflex, 1 to 4 Superflex, full PPR, start 3. Oh, 1 and 4. Okay, my brain didn't process your record. You're 1 and 4. You got to start 3. Higgins, Dobbs, Thomas, Ford, Laporta, DeMarcado. And there's going to be a super flex probably play in here. So I guess it's like, would you start position player over a guy like Dobbs? And the answer would be no. So you got to start Dobbs in a super flex.
I do it all the time though. If I've got a high upside player, I'm very friendly to starting a high upside positional player over a quarterback.
He doesn't have it here when you're starting 3. Like you got to start Laporta.
Yeah.
I guess you could argue like if you are a believer in Higgins, you could go Higgins and DeMarcado. I'm out on Ford 1 gajillion% this week against the 49ers. I think Higgins is still banged up. I think this is Dobbs, DeMarcado, and Laporta, and that's a gross set to say.
It is. Unfortunately, you just got to cross your fingers there with you're 1 and 4. You need the upside. You have to hope that T. Higgins is not a decoy out there. Hope that it's a good game from Dobbs. And then between Logan Thomas and Laporta, honestly, I would say Laporta, but the fact that you're 1 and 4, I would go with Laporta, or I would go with Logan Thomas and hope that it's another game where the targets are funneled to him and Curtis Samuel and he get another 20+ game from him. So Higgins, Dobbs, and Laporta.
Laporta's a little banged up, but he's going to go. But I mean, also if you...
I'm sorry, Thomas.
You're going Thomas, yeah. Laporta, though, is the highest upside player of anybody here. I mean, the guy can go over 102 scores on any given moment. So that's why I can't bench him.
Yeah.
Anto says, Jerome Ford for Godwin, half PPR, gotta move forward. So I think this is a trade question.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I am.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's easy fair if you need to do it, especially if you got to move forward. You got to get out of the business of Ford. You can do that. If you, friends, want a chance to win a free fantasy football trophy, courtesy of Trophy Smack, the #1 store for epic fantasy football trophies, all you got to do is subscribe right here to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, like now, if you're not already. Then guess what? If you've asked a question, you've already entered yourself. If you haven't, get a question in. It could be the creepy crawl, whatever you want. You can comment below on the video, and that's it. You are entered in. We'll be announcing a winner right here on the channel, so make sure to turn on the notification so you are alerted when new videos are up, and you can claim your prize from Trophy Smack. Trophy prize mixed up in there. I love Trophy Smack. They have got some awesome, and I love all the stuff that they got. We should get some here. Always. We should do those. But check out Trophy Smack today and get hooked up. Cool. All right. Let's see. We've got Brian says, yo. Full PPR flex, Rachaad White or DeMarcado?
I'm going Rachaad White, just because Jonathan Gannon's words around the running backs were so weird and non-committal to literally anybody. So just go ahead and go with Rachaad White.
I'll go with Rachaad White too. I don't trust DeMarcado. I know the early depth chart, I know it can mean nothing. The depth chart opening up early and going with Keontae Ingram, I think says something. I don't think Keontae Ingram is good. I think DeMarcado is better. But what I do believe is DeMarcado will be limited, and it'll be 12 to 15 touches in some capacity. And that might be great, but we know Rachaad White's going to go over 20, and he's going to get out of the backfield. He'll be the primary rusher, whatever that looks like. I'll go with Rachaad White. I know D-Bro is all about DeMarcado this week, running him out in DFS, and he has to have the big. It's kind of like Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford makes all his business off of one big play. And I'm not saying DeMarcado has to do that, but he's got to be doing a lot in whatever those touches end up being. So I don't know. Shannon says, good morning, Tara and Welsh. Need RB. Good morning, Shannon. Need RB2, PPR, Hubbard, Ford, DeMarcado, or Ingram. Also, would you start Cook over Pollard or Mixon? Absolutely not over Pollard. Absolutely over Mixon. Do you at least agree that we start Cook over Mixon?
Oh yeah. I'm 100% on board with that. Mixon is just one note for me.
Are you viewing this as need an RB2 or need two of the running backs? I'm a little confused on the question because I feel like I want to answer with one because they just need an RB2.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just the one.
So Hubbard, Ford, DeMarcado, or Ingram?
It is Hubbard, especially full PPR. That is the deciding factor for me that makes it the easy Hubbard. And even if, with that list, even then, so it's just Hubbard.
Yeah, and assuming these might be like two different teams because it's like, well, I would start Mixon, Hubbard, and Pollard if you had an option, but absolutely Hubbard over those other guys. I'm full team Hubbard over DeMarcado. Let's see where those guys are. I'm going to see DeMarcado versus Hubbard. Hubbard is 23 on the Fantasy Pros half PPR consensus ranks. DeMarcado is 29. So if you care about where all the rankers are, Hubbard has got quite a little bit of a lead. All right, Nick says standard league, Etienne or Montgomery?
Standard league makes it a little interesting there. I probably would lean towards going with Montgomery in standard league.
I'm easily going Montgomery. No Gibbs either. Even if Gibbs is there, we're going to get 20 plus carries from Montgomery. Stay Montgomery. Plus, he'll get some options out of the backfield to catch a few balls as well. So, I like Etienne. But I think the rush defense on the Cole. I'm going to go with Montgomery on this one. Pretty easy. Cody says, "Good morning, y'all. Please help. Metcalf, Kirk, James Cook, start 2, sit 1."
Oh, I feel like I'm okay with going with Metcalf and James Cook on this one and sitting Christian Kirk.
I'll do the same thing. Do you ever find yourself thinking what I'm gonna do or what you're gonna do? When I look at these questions, it's now in my brain. I start to look and I'm like, what's Tara gonna say? Like that's exactly how I look at this. And I don't know if you ever if you look at those because I felt like for a minute there you looked at that and you're like, well, Welsh is gonna definitely say Cook. And we're incepting the brains of.
I knew right off the bat. I was like, "Well, he's saying James Cook.
Yeah,
let's go that direction."
All right, so our creep poll because that's not the right way I should say it. The creepy monster poll. That's not the poll that we're doing here today. The creepy monster poll. We put up. Who do you believe in more? Because we found out that the majority believe in, or at least the little majority believe in Sasquatch. 52% did. So it said, who do you believe in more? We added Sasquatch to the list. We put ghosts in there, aliens, and the Loch Ness Monster, and we have the poll results. Coming in with the least believed, which I'm going to be honest with you, is crazy because it's the most believable because we have discovered and uncovered like 5% of the ocean and the waters. We know nothing about what is below. And only 5% believe in the Loch Ness Monster. Now, I guess it's like a lake. So maybe that's why it's a little bit more believable. But do you guys don't think that there's some big fish looking thing that just has come? If I had to pick one of these that I was like assured, I would say a Loch Ness Monster because it's just some giant sea creature. So I'm shocked. I don't know about you, Tara. I'm shocked that Loch Ness was the least believable.
I'm with our audience here. We're
You think that's the least believable
the,
over aliens?
Yeah. We could like let me not dive into the aliens. Let me not make that.
This is gonna become a whole different podcast. Everybody, let me tell you. All right, all right, yeah. We'll not do that. Sasquatch was the second least believed, which also is crazy to me because these are the two most believable. Because then you have ghosts are 27% and 56% are aliens. We are not alone. That is our Halloween monster poll of the week, which we were inspired by because someone caught on their iPhone Sasquatch the other day, and he just sat down. He's just having a sit. He was just hanging out. So good for him. There you go. Good job, guys, on the poll questions. That's so stupid. All right, let's get back to all of your guys' questions on your start and sit because we're about 5 minutes away from rapid fire, so we'll be rolling with them. Ramondre Steve, we already did that one. Maggie said, lost Anthony Richardson in a standard league. Pick up Gardner Minshew, CJ Stroud, or Baker Mayfield. Let's start with that because she's got two questions.
I lean towards going with CJ Stroud. I know he's down one, massive weapon in Tank Dell, but I still think that Stroud has shown the level of consistency that we need to see out of him in long term throughout the season. I think that's the one that you want to roster.
I agree. I'm going to go with Stroud. Gardner Minshew is number 2. I do like him. At tight end, sure. Logan Thomas or Dallas Goedert?
Go back to Dallas Goedert. Just roll it out.
Yeah, Maggie asked, was like, is Goddard really back? I think so. I think he got 5 catches in the first drive of last week. Like they made sure that he was involved. And I think that's going to be a force that they keep going with. So the same thing, Miranda asked a tight end question, Ferguson or Goddard. We'll both go with Goddard if we're going over Logan Thomas. Chris says, who to start, Cousins or Fields?
I'm still going with Fields. Again, this is another matchup. We're rolling it out here. Fields is good for right now. Keep on going.
You got it. Same here. Which defense to roll out? Cowboys, Raiders, or Falcons?
It's between the Raiders and the Falcons. Yeah. And I can't remember which one is honestly higher for me, but I want to say the Raiders. Yeah. Raiders.
Yeah, I would go with Raiders. I don't rank defenses on I just refuse to do it. But Falcons are actually higher on the consensus. They are 7, but I would also go with Raiders with Tara. So, yeah. Raptors says, morning, Welsh and Tara. Quarterback question, Stafford or the Arizona quarterback? Would we, I guess, Dobbs or Herbert? So that was asked. Wait, what? Stafford? Arizona. So Dobbs, Stafford, Dobbs, or Herbert? Higher rank, but versus Dallas after San Francisco embarrassment. Okay, so giving us the context screwed me up here. So Herbert, Stafford, or Dobbs?
I get that, but San Francisco and Dallas are two different defenses, and that Dallas is a very strong defense, but you still can put up good points on them, and they'll still be a fantastic fantasy defense. So it's still Herbert for me.
Start 1, Waddle or Addison by Kyle.
Addison.
Oh man, over Waddle. Okay, you get the crown then, because I love Addison this week, but I'm gonna start Waddle. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Greg says, where to rank Hubbard this week? Play him over Madison in PPR. I would. I don't trust him. I don't trust Madison. Yeah. Okay. So we're both in the same. Hi, Fantasy Pros. Waterboy here. Hi, Waterboy. Flex PPR in order Olave, Moss, White. Oh, so we're just ordering these. So Olave, Moss, White. Or no, I guess they're asking just one. Pick flex. I guess.
Olave.
Olave. Yeah. Olave. Agreed. Olave. Hey. All right. Edward says Cousins or Burrow.
I'm going with Burrow. Sorry, I gotta revert over on the Madison thing. I would play Madison over Hubbard. Sorry, I had like a lapse of judgment on the fact that it's against Chicago. So that said, I'm okay with going with Madison over Hubbard.
The only well, see, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me on Madison because I'm just stubborn. I think Cam Akers is going to get more involved. You're right. It's a great matchup. Madison has kept going, but they just keep inching Akers into that. I think the Vikings might be playing from behind as well. And I know the Panthers are going to be playing from behind. And I think Chuba's going to have the opportunity to catch them out of the backfield. So I might be wrong about that, but I'm kind of a Madison hater and I recognize that. So, maybe just don't listen to me. If you guys have got the big bets this year, then you guys should join our NFL contest. You can join the group over on the community tab on Betting Pros on the app, or you can just go directly to bettingpros.com/NFL contest where you can make your picks. We got weekly leaderboards and date and season to date leaderboards as well. If you want to join on the weekly, you just got to make sure you've got a minimum of 5 NFL picks and you will qualify. For the season to date, just make sure you've got 100 NFL picks. We're giving away an autographed Jackson Smith and Jigba jersey to the grand prize winner. We got a bunch of other weekly and monthly winners getting swag from Fantasy Pros and Betting Pros, as well as a 1-year premium upgrade on both apps. So go and check that out today. The NFL group contest with Betting Pros. Get the app. Get locked in. It's fun. I love tracking the bets. You also can find us over on the Betting Pros app and click our names, track all the wins. Yes, I bet Colorado earlier this week. That's not good, but I got a bunch of fun props that I have locked in, and you can see exactly who I'm betting by following me on the Betting Pros app and then just clicking through. Terry, are you on there? I don't want to assume that you are.
I'm not, but I should get on there now that you talked about it several weeks, and every time I'm like, man, I wish I was on there.
Yeah, it's fun. No. You can, we can tail your bets. You can tail or fade. You can see exactly what we're betting. So go and do that today on the Betting Pros app. All right. Rapid fire time. We're going to get them quick here. Larry says DeMarcado or Foreman.
Foreman.
PPR, Foreman or Brian Robinson.
Foreman.
Ooh, Robinson. I can't bench Robinson here. Addison Evans. I'll answer for Tara. Addison. We're both. We literally have not found someone that we are not starting Addison over yet. Well, man, this is my dumb brain. That would have been the thing to get you guys. Find the person that we could the reasonable person that we could do. But we're not going to get to your question because we're on rapid fire here. But next week we got to find that. Half PPR, Pittman or Nico Collins.
Nico.
Pittman. Gardner Minshew likes Pittman. DeMarcado or Moss in flex. 1 point per rushing attempt, by the way.
That's Moss. Nice. Yeah.
Moss. Yeah, I think Moss will get more or close to the same production. We got that. Garrett Wilson, Debo, Brian Robinson. Choose one, half PPR.
Debo, half PPR. Yeah.
Debo. Yeah, I'll go with Debo as well. Alan, full PPR, Amari, Hubba Chubba at flex. Who would I start? So Amari or Chuba?
Oh man. If you don't want to risk it, go with the safe option is Chuba. The risky option is Amari.
Yeah, Niners secondary. If this were Watts, I'll say if this was a guy that can throw. I just don't know what PJ Walker's going to do. I don't know if he'll be able to get the ball out accurately. The Niners, you can throw against them, but I think they are going to bring the house every single play against PJ Walker. So that might get a big play for a guy like Amari Cooper, but I don't trust it. So I would go with a Hubba Chubba. All right, Foreman or Moss? I think
Foreman.
Foreman. Yeah, Foreman. All right. Phil says, morning, Taryn Welsh. Laporta or Higbee? Full PPR.
I would still go with Laporta.
Yeah, Laporta injury doesn't shade me off of it because Puka and Cooper Kupp take me off. Yeah, which, by the way, we had another poll that was put up earlier. It said, are Puka and Cooper Kupp both top 10 fantasy wide receivers for the rest of the season? If you're going to be scared at all of Higbee, the reason is them. And it is, God, I can't. It was at 64%. Yeah, I had to click on it. 64% said yes, Puka and Cooper Kupp are top 10 fantasy wide receivers for the rest of the year, which join the very interesting group of like, you've got Smith and AJ Brown, And who are the other? You had T. Higgins,
Tyreek and Waddle.
Tyreek and Waddle, I think, are the two that really battle up against. That would have been a great question. What's the better duo? Waddle and Hill or Puka and Cup? But Cup can be there, and that's why I like Higbee so much less now. So I'll go with an injured Laporta without hesitating over Higbee. Not so speed round there. Ayuk or Metcalf, full PPR?
Ayuk
as well. Garrett, we did that one. Let's see. DeMarcado or Gainwell, full PPR?
Ooh, I will go. This will be a DeMarcado.
We will. Yeah. We found DeMarcado. Good for us. Dameon Pierce, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. Pick one in PPR. Can you imagine at any point in your fantasy time getting that question and us both being like, I don't think you can start Jonathan Taylor or Barkley right now, but I think that's where we're kind of at.
I have a dynasty team where I had to make this question or make this decision, and I started Jonathan Taylor over Dameon Pierce.
Holy crap. Yeah. I think you got to go. I don't trust Barkley this week, and Jonathan Taylor, we got no volume for. Doesn't seem like he's set to go, and they got Zach Moss. It's probably Pierce. It's Pierce over those guys until otherwise told. Until Barkley is a full throttle go, and Jonathan Taylor we see get a bunch of usage. If you got that type of option, that's crazy. Sit one: Kamara, Montgomery, Etienne, or Eckler. Jesus.
You can't. That's a Montgomery.
Roll the dice.
Montgomery.
Yeah. We're doing spooky. Just get a tarot card and just be like, just two tarot. Whoop, there you go. I don't know. I would guess I would go with. I don't want to sit Montgomery.
Top 10 backs.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sitting Montgomery here. I would sit Etienne actually. I guess that's crazy. I mean, congratulations on your win. Drake London or Hollywood, full PPR.
Drake London.
Drake London as well. Flex, Josh Downs or KJ Osborne. Remember, we talked about that earlier. Can AJ Osborne be a top 36 wide receiver this week? In the poll questions from Spotify, and we said yes. Is it enough to go over Josh Downs, though?
It is for me. I think other people lean the other direction, but I prefer KJ Osborne.
I agree. This is a great question here because this is going to elicit an answer to players we've said no about. Pick two. Stevenson, Ford, Robinson Jr. Brian Robinson has to be a yes here, so you have to pick Jerome Ford or Ramondre Stevenson this week.
I am picking Stevenson. Ford, at this point, Ford's the better back, but it's even the worst offensive situation. So yeah, Stevenson and Robinson.
I'm also taking Stevenson, 100%. Jonathan Taylor, Moss, or Ahmed in flex, starting CMC and Mostert. It's really Taylor or Moss here that you're picking between.
Yeah, and I lean towards going with Taylor over Moss. I think we could get a 50-50 split this week.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that one. All right, we're going to pick a couple more here. Trevor Lawrence, Stroud, or Dak, quarterback?
Trevor.
Moss or Osborne? I'm guessing this is a flex.
Osborne.
Ingram or Laporta?
Laporta.
White, Foreman, Chuba, KJ Osborne at flex. Pick one. Didn't we do that one?
We said PPR?
It says, PPR.
Chuba.
Chuba for me as well. And last one, Kyle, need help. Cousins or Howell, desperate at quarterback?
Still go with Cousins.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Here?
It's okay.
Justin Jefferson's not there. We got Jordan Addison. We are team Jordan Addison and team Fantasy Pros. Thank you guys. Great questions this week. Shout out again to Jack Links, who this episode is brought to you by. Feed your wild side today. Go to jacklinks.com or just go to a local retailer and get some Jack Links. Maybe you'll find a Sasquatch or a ghost, or you won't find a Loch Ness, I suppose. It's the least likely for us to be around. Great questions today. I totally abused my power like I blame Joe for doing, from John by asking about monsters. But you guys did great there. Hopefully we helped you guys out with all of your questions. If you need more, you can get Autopilot and a ton more over at myplaybookfantasypros.com/myplaybook for more assistance if you need it. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys so much. Good luck this week. Thank you to John for producing. A+, literally the best person at Fantasy Pros, and it's not even close. John's the best. Tara, You are also the best. You're number 2 after John. John's the best. And then you're my favorite co-host. Joe Pisapia can kick sand. He can get out of here. It's Tara time on Twitter. Make sure to follow Tara for everything. Rocks a lot of the Fantasy Pros social media stuff as well. So make sure you do that. You can follow me at Is It The Welsh. And that is it. Go over to Betting Pros. I think Betting Pros is kicking off right now with some bets. I think you guys can watch live. So go get all your best bets in there. Follow me on the app. For Tara and John, I'm Welsh. We'll talk to you guys next time right here on Fantasy Pros. Bye, friends.